summon me, Lord Malik?
The search for Bastila is taking too long. We cannot risk her escaping Taris. Destroy the entire planet.
The entire planet, Lord Malik? But there are billions of people on Taris. We'd be slaughtering countless innocent civilians, not to mention our own men still on the surface.
Your predecessor once made the mistake of questioning my orders, Admiral. Surely you are not so foolish as to make the same mistake.
Of course not, my Lord Malik. I will do as you command, but it will take several hours to position our fleet.
Then I suggest you begin immediately. You are dismissed, Admiral.
Yes, Lord Malik.
Bastila, you're alive! Finally things are looking up. Now we just need to figure out a way to get off this planet.
You mean you don't have a plan to get off Taris yet? What have you been doing all this time?
Hey, we were trying to find you, remember?
I see. Now that I'm back in charge of this mission, perhaps we can start doing things properly. Hopefully our escape from Taris will go more smoothly than when you rescued me from Brejik.
I know you're new at this, Bastila, but a leader doesn't berate her troops just because things aren't going as planned. Don't let your ego get in the way of the real issues here.
That hardly strikes me as an appropriate way of addressing your commander, Karth. I am a member of the Jedi Order, and this is my mission. Don't forget that. My battle meditation ability has helped the Republic many times in this war, and it will serve us well here, I am sure.
Your talents might win us a few battles, but that doesn't make you a good leader. A good leader would at least listen to the advice of those who have seen more combat than she ever will.
Yes, you're right, of course. I apologize, Karth. This has been a difficult time for me. Of course, I'm happy to listen to your advice. What do you suggest we do?
First off, we can't get hung up on who's in charge. We all need to work together if we want to get off this rock. The answer is out there, we just have to find it.
Well said, Karth. And the sooner we start looking, the better. I've already been a prisoner of the Vulkars, and I don't plan on being captured by the Sith. I think we'll need some help getting off Taris. Maybe if we ask around, one of the locals can help us out. We should probably start by asking around in the cantinas. Is something wrong? You seem as if something's troubling you.
I've seen you before. In a dream. A vision or something.
A vision? A vision of what?
Of you fighting a dark Jedi. Revan, I guess.
It's strange. Such visions are often a sign of Force sensitivity.
Force sensitivity? What do you mean?
I'm not sure. It may be that you have some connection to the Force. It would not be unheard of. When we first met, your natural talent may have fed off my own Force abilities.
This isn't the first time I've had a vision like this.
The Force is complicated. Even I, with all my training, cannot fully understand it yet. This is a matter best left to the wise masters of the Jedi Council. Once we escape Taris, we can seek the guidance of the Council if you wish. They will understand the significance of your vision, if there is any. However, I think it would be best if we all stayed focused on the task at hand right now. We can't afford any distractions. We need to find a way off Taris.
Out of our way, citizen. We're on official Sith business. Just stand aside if you know what's good for you.
I would like to know what happened after you crashed on Taris. I'm curious as to what you and Karth were doing before we all joined forces.
You mean before I rescued you?
I managed to free myself, as I recall. In fact, if I hadn't been there, Brejik and his thugs might have killed you in that fight. It's probably more accurate to say that I rescued you.
Can't you just admit that you were rescued?
I'll admit that I probably wouldn't have been able to free myself if not for the brawl after the swoop race. I guess I should thank you for that, at least. Actually, your presence at the swoop track is what I'm curious about. It couldn't have been an easy task to find me there, yet somehow you managed. You also avoided detection by the Sith, discovered I was a Vulcan prisoner, gained sponsorship for the race, and became the Taris swoop champion. That's quite a resume.
And rescued the damsel in distress, don't forget.
Yes, well, I hardly consider myself a damsel in distress. I'm a member of the Jedi Order, after all. But I won't deny you've impressed me with what you've done. When you were chosen to join this mission, I doubt any of us expected this much from you. A Jedi could have done such things, of course, but only by drawing heavily upon the Force. The Force is in all of us, though for most people it's barely a measurable whisper. But there are some individuals outside the Jedi Order that we consider Force-sensitive. It's obvious to me that the Force has been working through you. There is no other explanation for your great success. Though I'm not certain what to make of this discovery. Perhaps if you weren't... well, if you were younger, the Jedi might take you for training. But as it is...
Good thing I was Force-sensitive or I couldn't have rescued you.
Yes, the rescue again. Very well, for what it's worth, I concede the point to you. You rescued me from Brejik, and yet we're still stuck here on Taris. Hopefully, between your abilities, my Jedi training, and the skills of our companions, we can find a way off this planet.
Hey, Bastila. You ever use the Force just for fun? You know, a little jolt of the Force to trip out some jerk who's ticking you off?
I would never use the Force for such petty and trivial revenge. The mere thought of it's preposterous.
Oh, come on. There's gotta be times when you've thought about it. Don't be so stuck up. You can tell me.
I am not stuck up. I merely have the years of training to give me the wisdom and understanding to see how childish such an act would be.
Childish? Is that a crack about my age? You ain't much older than me, Miss High and Mighty. Just because you're some Jedi doesn't mean you can be a prissy little... What the... Hey, that wasn't funny.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Mission. Come now, we have to get going. Please, do try to be less clumsy in the future.